Hello, children. Let's start chapter 1, some basic concepts of chemistry. In this, we will study a brief history and importance of chemistry, properties of matter and their measurement, Dalton's atomic theory, laws of chemical combinations, Avogadro's hypothesis, chemical equivalence, molecular mass and mole concept, volumetric calculations, empirical and molecular formulae, stoichiometry of chemical reactions. Though this chapter have many subheadings, but need not to worry, cause many of the things you are aware of and few interesting and beneficial topics you will study in this chapter. Actually, this chapter will revise almost all you have studied in your previous classes. Let's start with what is chemistry? Chemistry is the branch of science that deals with the composition, structure, and properties of matter. Chemistry is called the science of atoms and molecules. After this, I like to present a brief history about the chemistry. Though it is like a story, no one will sleep. Sit straight and listen the story. A brief history of chemistry. In India, the study of chemistry is as old as the Vedas are. Our ancient rishis and munis have made significant contributions to chemistry. The ancient Vedic literature consists of valuable informations regarding the Ras Tantra, metals, metallurgy, combustion of matter, and many more things which may prove of Ras Tantra. And you know that they have said that this whole universe is made up of Panchabhut. And the five basic elements of this Panchabhut was Prithvi, the earth, Jal, the water, Vayu, the air, Agni, the fire, Akash, the sky. And in Yajurved also, it has find on one place that metals like gold, copper, iron, lead, tin have been mentioned there along with the stones, clay and sand. Actually, you should know that the present form of chemistry that we study today has emerged mainly from the work of Western chemists. Perhaps the first meaningful approach to chemistry was made by alchemists during the period of 350 to 1500 AD. The alchemists, all those who have worked for chemistry in the very early stage, they were interested in discovering only two things. One is nectar and second is philosopher's stone. What is nectar? Nectar is a hypothetical syrup which could make man young and immortal. Still, everyone wants this, but this is impossible. Though those alchemists have worked on this. And the second point was a philosopher's stone. A stone which could convert metals into gold. Means that philosopher's stone, whatever we will touch, they will touch with that philosopher's stone, it should get converted into gold. Okay, actually, alchemists were practically mad after acquiring these two things. Unluckily, they could not get either of these two things, but their efforts made a valuable contribution to chemistry. They devised various types of apparatus and discovered many processes such as extraction of gold by amalgamation process and preparation of caustic alkalis. We owe a lot to these alchemists to their contribution of chemistry. After the alchemist, the period of 1500 to 1600 AD, it was termed as iatrochemistry period. During this period, a substantial study of gases was made. If you remember the name of the scientist, Robert Boyle, he was the important chemist of this period who extensively worked and studied about the behavior of gases. And very important law of Boyle's law was given during this period. After that, 1660 to 1734 was termed as phlogiston theory was given, and this was known as this period was a controversial theory period, and Ernest Halle is the important scientist here. Actually, this theory survived for about 100 years, and the period of the survival in the chemistry is known as phlogiston period. During this period, an extensive study of gases was carried out. Several new gases was discovered and their behavior was studied. After this, the period was for modern period. In 1774, Joseph Priestley discovered oxygen. Lavoisier, who is regarded as the father of modern chemistry, confirmed the discovery made by Priestley and showed that oxygen is essential for combustion. This explanation of combustion gave an end to the phlogiston theory and the phlogiston period. In the beginning of the 19th century, laws of chemical combination were discovered. In 1803, John Dalton proposed his atomic theory. In 1869, Mendeleev, a Russian scientist, made a significant contribution to chemistry by giving periodic laws and by arranging the elements in the form of periodic table. In 1833, Faraday studied the passage of current through solutions, and in 1881, Arrhenius proposed theory of ionization. The direction of research in chemistry took a new turn when Sir J.J. Thomson in 1896 studied in passing electric discharge through gases at very low pressure and discovered electron. Almost at the same time, in 1886 only, Goldstone discovered proton. In 1932, Sir James Chadwick discovered neutron. These things all you have studied, but just revise it once more. With the advent of these fundamental particles, the atom was no longer indivisible as it was proposed by John Dalton. In 1913, new concepts were conceived in Mendeleev's periodic table and was revised. And the revision was done by Moseley. Henry Moseley. He was the student of Mendeleev. And the pioneer work of Rutherford, Curie, etc. opened new vistas in the field of nuclear chemistry. The 20th century may be said to be the golden period of chemistry. During the last 5 decades, our knowledge of chemistry has increased manifold. Non-stop research work in chemistry is going on in almost all parts of the world. Highly sophisticated, both manual as well as automatic instruments of very high precision have been devised and are being used to gather more and more information from nature and all. At present, perhaps no other branch of science is as rich in information as chemistry. And this is not going to be end. Chemistry will go on flourishing more and more till the man exists on earth. After the history, let's see the different branches of chemistry. You will see that there are many branches in chemistry: pharmaceutical chemistry, agricultural chemistry, industrial chemistry, biochemistry, analytical chemistry, physical, organic, inorganic chemistry. But need not to worry, you don't have to study all branches of chemistry. We will only study physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and organic chemistry. Okay, so what is there in physical chemistry? So children, whenever you will find some laws and lots of numerical, then that is your physical chemistry. The explanation of fundamental principles governing various chemical phenomena is the main concern of this physical chemistry branch. It is basically concerned with laws and theories of the different branches of chemistry. Inorganic chemistry. This deals with the study of compounds of all elements except carbon. Whatever compounds are present, if it won't contain carbon, it means it is an inorganic compound. It largely concerns itself with the study of minerals found in the earth crust. Organic chemistry means the study of carbon and its compounds, especially hydrocarbons and their derivatives. You will be surprised to see that only because of carbon, thousands and thousands of compounds have been prepared. Industrial chemistry. It involves the processes under which this different processes which is used in the industrial purpose, that is your industrial chemistry. Biochemistry, actually this branch deals with the chemical changes going on in the bodies of living organisms, plants and animals. Analytical chemistry, this branch deals with the qualitative and quantitative analysis of various substances. Qualitative means when we do titration type of work, that is our qualitative, and quantitative when we prepare some derivative, when we prepare some solid, that work is termed as quantitative analysis. Nuclear chemistry. Nuclear reactions such as nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, transmutation processes, etc., many are there, are studied under this branch. Now let's see the brief importance of chemistry. The question should come to your mind, what is the importance of chemistry and why would you all must learn about it? Chemistry is the study of matter and its interactions with other matter and energy. Chemistry has a reputation for being a complicated and boring science, but for the most part that reputation is undeserved. Fireworks and explosions are based on chemistry, so it's definitely not a boring science. If you all take classes in chemistry, you'll apply maths and logic, which can make studying chemistry a challenge if you are weak in those areas. However, anyone can understand the basics of how things work, and that's the study of chemistry. In a nutshell, the importance of chemistry is that it explains the world around you. If I will try to explain chemistry, suppose it is asked to you what you have done during this lockdown period. Laughing in laughing manner or only or in joking part, you will say cooking. Yes, cooking is also a chemistry. How food is cooked, how it rots, how to preserve food, how your body uses the food, how ingredients interact. All this is chemistry. In cleaning section, when whatever you are using the chemistry for cleaning, you use chemistry when you use bleaches, disinfectants, and even ordinary soap and water. How do they work? That is chemistry. Nowadays, two things are very important. That is, one is your sanitizer and the other is mask. Sanitizer, which chemicals are there in your sanitizer? When we will meet in the laboratory, I'll tell you to prepare sanitizer. What you have to use there? Isopropyl alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, glycerol, and these will be mixed in some fixed proportion, and to balance it, finally I will mix ethanol, and here your sanitizer is prepared. In medicine field, you need to understand basic chemistry so you can see that how vitamins, supplements and drugs can help you or even it can harm you. For environmental issues, chemistry is the heart of environmental issues. What makes one chemical a nutrient and another chemical a pollutant? How can you clean up the environment? What processes can produce the things you need without harming the environment? Children, if you can recall, the tragedy occurred on May 7, 2020, Vishakhapatnam, or it is also known as Vizag gas leak. This tragedy was reminded the Bhopal gas tragedy occurred on 2 December 1984, before your birth. On chilly night, it was a hilarious tragedy and will bring tears in eyes when you will read it. Actually, both the cases occurred when the corresponding factory was about to restart after some time gap. In Bhopal gas tragedy, MIC, methyl isocyanate, was responsible, and in Vizag gas tragedy, styrene, C8H8, or you can say C6H5CH double bond CH2 was responsible. We humans are all chemists. We use chemicals every day and perform chemical reactions without thinking much about them. Chemistry is important because everything you do is chemistry. Even your body is made up of chemicals. Chemical reactions occurs when we breathe, when we eat, or just sit there reading. All matter is made of chemicals, so the importance of chemistry is that it is the study of everything. Now let's see the properties of matter and their measurement. Children, suppose you enter a lab which was closed from many years. Many chemicals are present there, but their label is not there. Either it is melted or moistened or oxidized. Main thing is that you are not able to read the name of the chemical. At that time, you cannot even taste the chemical to get to analyze what the chemical is. Now, what you will do? You will throw all the chemicals? No, my dear children. You will apply your knowledge regarding unique and characteristic properties of every compound. The knowledge of physical and chemical properties of every compound. You can find the melting point of solids and boiling points of liquid. Whatever the data you have received, you will match to the literature value and you can get the name of the particular chemical. And you can, for more confirmation, you can perform some chemical reactions also that will confirm the name of that particular compound. So what is physical and chemical properties? Every substance has unique or characteristic properties. These properties can be classified into two categories: physical properties and chemical properties. Physical properties are those properties which can be measured or observed without changing the identity of the composition of the substance. Means when the substance will be given to you, if it is solid, if it is given to you in watch glass, you can see it is solid. You can see that what is the color of that substance. Means whatever thing you can observe, its color, its state, its odor, its melting point and boiling point, that you have to there are few apparatus you have to use here to get the melting point and boiling point. So the measurement or observation of chemical properties requires a chemical change. Suppose magnesium ribbon, magnesium metal is given as a ribbon form. When we will burn that magnesium ribbon in air, that is now a chemical reaction is occurring. Now the ribbon is not, when it is burnt, now it is not magnesium, but it is now magnesium oxide. So chemical properties are characteristic reactions of different substances. These include the acidity or basicity, combustibility, etc. Now next is scientific notation, significant figures, types of matter, their behavior, and different laws of combination. These topic I will start in my new lecture. So read it and then come back. No work from this section, only you have to listen it to memorize what are the terms has been used in this lecture. So best of luck for next lesson. Next topics, do read it and then come back here. to take the lecture. Okay, thank you children.